I've always wondered why people that have made a lot of money in professional sports go back into it and commentating and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I think they do it because they don't want people to forget about them. Because
Yes.
once you leave the scene, like you're gone. I don't care what you do unless you're like a Tony Romo. Because I've said for the life of me, like Tony Romo was not a Hall of Fame player, was not a Hall of Fame player at all. But because his commentary skills are good, he's gonna make the Hall
Hmm. Interesting.
because he stays relevant. Because he stays relevant, he's really good at commentating, and nobody will remember his play. When his name come up, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, he's a really good commentator. He really knows the game." They'll go back, they'll look at his number, not the videos that we watch when we seen him like, oh,
Right.
all the picks that he threw, the none, like nobody remembers that. They just
Tony Romo was the one who messed up that field goal in the
yes,
playoffs.
yes,
One of my
yeah.
favorite playoff memories.
Man, they were trying to blame Jessica Simpson for everything.
Right. So it gives them the ability to not only stay relevant but keep their names as household names. Nobody would know Joe Buck. Like if Joe Buck wasn't a commentator, like nobody would know
Well, it
him.
also helps with a future generation to know, like maybe people who watched in real time, but then there's the next generation who is watching the NFL and only knows these people as commentators. Even like, think about a young person who never watched Troy Aikman, but they've had Troy Aikman speaking to them on a television the entirety of their football viewing career.
Yeah, I'll give you the
Similar,
greatest.
but like Troy Aikman was good.
No, I know, but my
Yeah,
point is people, you can't help what generation you're born in, so you can't help who you saw playing on Sundays. But then if you see someone in a commentator standpoint, and yeah, if you went back and watched highlights of Troy Aikman, you'd be like, holy crap, this guy was amazing. Different category than Tony Romo. But DeAngelo's not in
Not
the
sure. Amazing is strong. He's
great.
good. He's good.
Yeah, that was.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's better than Tony Romo.
But significantly better than Romo.
Significantly better than Tony
right.
Romo.
Your,
Yes,
your
yes.
point is valid.
Thank
your
you.
point is
Yes.
valid. But Romo won't make it as a player. He'll make it
As a commentator.
As a medium.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say that he won't make it as a player because, this is the greatest example of all time. I've never seen Babe Ruth swing a bat. I've never seen him play in a full game or nothing. But when you talk about one of the greatest baseball players to ever live, his name come up, and nobody's ever seen him. Like you talk about Aaron Judge. Like I remember watching Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa go for the home run title, and I was like, oh, these got to be the two greatest baseball players to ever live. And now with the steroids allegation and the drugs and stuff like that, we're like, well, were they? Like if you take away, and then you go back to the old notion, but everybody was doing it. They was just better at doing it than everybody else. And then you're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
they were good.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.